Maine's presumptive Democratic nominee for Senate, Graham Platner, had one of the toughest weekends of his campaign, and that's saying something. It was again about his personal life, and the disclosures, well, they don't get much more personal than the ones that arrived this weekend. In 2025, according to the reports, Platner's wife, Amy Gertner, told his campaign internally about her knowledge of sexually explicit messages her husband exchanged with several other women. This happened, she disclosed, again, within the confines of the campaign while they were married. The campaign, by way of response, posted this video from Gertner.
No marriage is perfect, and I don't want a perfect marriage. I want my marriage, and I want to be married to Graham.
The question, can Platner's ability, which has been pretty consistent throughout this campaign, to face down questions about his conduct and his character continue? Our Taurean Small joins me now with some late-breaking developments from Capitol Hill. As I understand it, Taurean, Graham Platner is going to be coming to Washington.
Yeah, according to sources familiar, he's set to meet with Senate Democrats ahead of a planned fundraiser he's set to have tomorrow here in the Capitol as well. It's interesting because a lot of these Democrats have been quite precarious about his campaign so far. He's been rattled by scandal after scandal, the most latest being this sexting scandal that he and his wife admitted to. I want to call into question or call out some of the responses that we heard from Democrats, or lack of responses. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer just made it to the Capitol a couple of hours ago, and he said not now, when repeatedly pressed on whether or not he wanted to give a statement on his confidence in Platner. Over the weekend, we heard from some Democrats like Senator Chris Murphy, who was on Face the Nation. He said there's still a clear contrast between Platner and President Trump, and he said he still believes he's the best candidate for this seat. And as we know, he's running unopposed, considering his primary opponent, the current governor of Maine, dropped out. So it looks like you said, he's the presumptive nominee, and he's still likely to win his primary.
And I guess the big question behind all this, Taurean, is, are there more disclosures to come? And is there something about Graham Platner that Maine voters have yet to hear? Because they've heard plenty, and he has withstood a lot of this scrutiny so far. But is there another shoe or set of shoes to drop? And it seems like that's what Democrats are nervously talking about privately.
Major, it's curious timing, right? I mean, the fact that he's running essentially unopposed in his primary for this to drop would suggest that there's potentially more dirt out there that could come out. He's certainly not alluding to it. And in fact, he's saying that this is a problem drummed up by the media when addressing this. His campaign, his wife, have been pretty rabid in their attacks on the press for reporting this story. But he still has several months to go after his primary, and it's likely that his Republican opponent, Senator Susan Collins, will seize on this opportunity to point to voters who exactly he is. This is a tough race for him, considering she has the incumbent's advantage. And even though Democrats are designating this seat as one to flip, this could present a larger challenge. The bigger question is how he would face, if elected, coming into a very different Capitol Hill. We saw the ousters of several congressmen just this year alone for related or similar sexual misconduct allegations. There's, on the House side, a bipartisan task force looked at addressing sexual misconduct reporting. So whether or not his behavior will face the ire of Democrats is something that we'll get a readout on tomorrow when he meets with some of those Democratic lawmakers.
Taurean Small on Capitol Hill, thank you very much.